All right, we're gonna do a quick little update here and a little conundrum that I'm having. So I'm sick and tired of making 88 trips to Lowe's, and but my problem here is I'm running PEX. This house used to have copper, and since this is a cold region where I live in wintertime, copper is more susceptible to having frozen water pipes. And the thing with PEX will freeze, but the plastic here will, trying to adjust my headlamp here. The plastic here will expand, but it won't break. And then once it melts, it will slowly just go back into shape. So it reduces the risk of breaking. One of the other issues I'm having now is I have copper pipe to run here, but apparently this fitting, because this is going to be the shower head, so it's got to come up like this to there. And then I'll have a fitting at the end. And then the shower head screws into this, and then the valve will supply the water to the shower. Well, we did get the floor down in here. So today's project, I need to get the plumbing done first and make sure there's no leaks before I finish putting up. Well, I'm going to put up the rest of the cement board so I can start tiling. But I want to make sure there's no leaks before I go ahead and cement board this up. As you can see, this would be kind of rough for me to get in there and repair any leaks. And this is honestly my first time that I'm using PEX and the crimp tools and everything. I mean, this is not cheap. It's, $100 just for this crimper. And I've never used this stuff before. People tell me it works great. But we'll see. So my conundrum is I want to put a copper pipe because I don't want any flexible movement of the shower head. So as you can see over here, I'd set up for a copper to do that. But the problem I have is the fitting that we purchased doesn't slip over here for me to solder on. So I found one that I had in my toolbox, that I had a bunch of spare parts and stuff that, whenever I do plumbing jobs, whatever's left over, I kind of keep, for these things. So I did find one, but as you can see, like here's like old valves that they had in the house. They were doing actually copper, as you can see right here. This was copper line. They had PEX put in here with these SharkBite fittings. And again, these fittings are not cheap. I mean, they're pretty expensive. But I guess the overall value is once you're done with it, you're kind of done with it. You don't have to worry about it. But I haven't had enough experience with PEX to honestly give an opinion one way or the other. As you can see, like here, I have to run all new drain lines under the house. And this the kitchen. I put this window in here that wasn't here before, so I actually want our sink to be right here so we can honestly look out. What you're looking at now is pretty much the woods, but eventually I'm cutting those trees down, and then we're going to build a garage. It's going to be out here, a 2-car garage. And then I'll actually have a roof that goes between the house and the garage, kind of have like a little carport to, when it rains or whatever, bring groceries in the house. And I need to quit saying because you guys probably count how many times I said if you played the drinking game, half of you guys would be smashed by now. So here's the water lines that are coming up, and again, this will be for the toilet, and this is for the vanity, the sink. That's just the drain. This is actually my vent stack, which it's, in my opinion, it's kind of small, 1.5 inches. I would have liked to have had 3-inch, but that's what it meets code. You can see as it goes through the roof. So it meets code, and I'm not going to tear it out. Don't want to replace something that's really not broke. As you can see in this section here, we're actually, right here, our washer and dryer will actually go in this space from here to here. This is already framed off, and it'll be enclosed. So it'll be a stack washer and dryer. We close, and then our refrigerator will go over here. And then what we're gonna do here is basically you're gonna have like a little alcove to have a desk or whatever, and it's cabinets up above and then below for storage. So we can still be able to open doors and I'm not swinging into a fridge. Our stove will go on this side. Again, kitchen sink all the way to about here. And then I'm actually gonna do shelves that are open. I'm thinking about, I don't know, I'm kind of tired of looking at shiplap. That if I hear that term one more time, I'm gonna ship slap the hell out of somebody, because it really is getting frustrating. And I know it looks good, but the problem that I foresee is a lot of things in the future change, and people change a lot of things. And I'm thinking about maybe just doing classic tile over this or something. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. And then in this part here, I'm actually going to have we'll actually have a nook that'll come out, and then that's where my wife and I will sit and have our meals at. And then again, this is will be our main living room. I have to finish framing in the gas insert there. I took out a fireplace that was in there, and the problem with that was the flue inside was completely rotted and rusted. The previous people that lived here, they burned in it, but you know, it just didn't burn right, and they never took care of it. The flue rusted and rotted out, and it'd just be too much to replace. And honestly, if you have anybody that has experience with wood fireplaces, they create a lot of dust and dirt. And really, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, it's great heat, but the issue is you can't control the heat, and you literally have a lot of dust to clean and stuff. And especially when my kitchen's going to be right there, I don't want to deal with it. But gas is really clean burn. This is actually propane. I have a big propane tank outside that feeds into that. But I have to do some work with that, because I have to actually, the power that runs the blower here, I have to take this insert out and then drill a hole down through the basement and run power. Then I'll basically have a switch or a thermostat somewhere to control the blower. And then my TV will go right above there, which I pretty much I don't subscribe to cable anymore. If any of you, probably a lot of you guys are doing that. For the past 4 years now, I've been, I literally have internet TV. So I actually, right now, I'm using YouTube TV as my provider. $50 a month it costs me for a lot of channels. And also I can, you know, on my phone, wherever I'm at, I can access it. And I just pay for internet. So I was tired of my cable and internet bill being $200 and plus a month, like $260 a month it was costing us down in the city. And I was getting kind of out of hand. I just, you know, felt that it's no good to, everybody's changing, and it's worth it. If you guys are thinking about dropping the cable, trust me, there's a lot of alternatives out there, a lot of good providers. You just got to have good internet. That's the one drawback. You do need to have the high-speed internet. You know, you don't want to get the cheap $19 internet, because it's not going to provide enough bandwidth to stream, especially movies. And if some of you guys are Amazon Prime members, you can see the Amazon Prime members, that you guys can actually get free movies and stuff from that. And the content's getting better, and as we progress in society with technology, you know, we're getting a lot better providers and contents. And honestly, I spend more time watching YouTube videos on how to fix things or how to do certain projects, or watch people's projects going on, that entertains me more than listening to the news. I literally just stopped listening to the news like over a year ago. I just get whatever information from everybody else, and then I make my own judgments instead of letting somebody tell me how I should think or what I should think. Well, all right, I'm not going to get on that bandwagon, but this is where we're at. So the bathroom is coming along. We did get I got the shower tray put in. Shower tray's put in. I just got it covered because I don't want to get it all scratched up. We did pick out our tile. It's like a white marble, and I'm sure you guys will see it when I'm done. I do have to get some, I I will have will be drywall behind here. This will actually is actually a niche for you know, soap and shampoo, and then I'm actually going to put Schroeder membrane in here, and then I'm using a whole waterproofing system to go over this, and this will completely make it waterproof. And then I will install a light over the shower, and then a fan is going to go in here. And like I said, the vanity, I mean, I have everything here. And then the toilet, I was kind of hoping to get all this done this weekend, but it's just, I just honestly, anybody knows, you do a project and it's like, if the hardware store literally isn't in your backyard, you're just going to make 88 trips. And honestly, it's an hour from here to my hardware store. We have a little local hardware store in town, and that's where my wife just went to go get what I needed. And we'll go from there. All right, well, that's it. I'm sure you guys have heard me ramble on enough, and excuse my mess. A little bit earlier, the deer were out. They were outside. They actually walked up front. It's beautiful up here. I know it kind of looks like a mess now, but I guarantee you in like 2 years from now, this will all be cleaned up. And this will all be... you know, a lot of these trees are going to be taken down because a lot of them are dead and they're too close to my house, and one good strong windstorm will blow them down. And as you can see, there's one right back right there. You see the top, it's completely missing because it was blown out. They do get some storms up here. It gets pretty windy, and I am on top of a mountain. It's 10 degrees cooler up here than it is down in the city. And again, the city's an hour away. Yeah, the deck's going to get redone. Actually, I'm going to want to extend it out. But right now, I just have everything set up for me to do projects I need to do today and try to get as much done today. I hope everybody, like I said, is staying healthy. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I consider myself lucky. I'm still out making deliveries. And if we do get to the point where we have to close down anything, I'm still able to get work, provide work for my guys to keep running, actually to run food supplies if need be, to keep at least us guys getting a paycheck. But please, you know, thank the men and women out there that are driving trucks, that are out here delivering the products and stuff, and think of the nurses and all the healthcare professionals that honestly, you know, whenever we're in a crisis, you really see the true heroes that come through. It's just amazing that, you know, I'm able to provide for my family still. And, you know, some people think I'm crazy, but honestly, I've been trucking now for almost 30 years, and I still love doing it. I still get enjoyment out of my job, and I'm very fortunate to have a good company that I work for, and that I feel appreciated. And I have a good bunch of guys that drive for me, you know, for the company, that, you know, these guys step up every day and they do what they got to do to get things done. And I couldn't be more happier to work with a bunch of good guys. So, all right, that's it off my soapbox. You guys have a good one, and see you on the next video.